All right, all right, all right. We are live. Welcome in H-Town world. This is the Solid Grip coming to you live at 5. No time for jive. You understand me? We are here to entertain your inner brain. So relax your rear and allow us to soothe your ear. I am your host, J.R. Wilson, alongside me, Ping Wilson. And today we have a special guest, Kinfolk, Rod Hoff. And look here, we coming to bring it to you with 100% facts, 100% truth, give you our expert analysis on what we do here, man. So first of all, Pop, man, how you doing over there?
Doing great, baby.
Already. Rod, how you feeling, baby?
I'm good, man. Beating Corona day by day. I'm good. Can't complain.
Already, man. I'm
Can't
doing the
complain.
same, man. So look, man, we have a rundown, but I want to jump into something, man, that's dear to my heart, man, straight off the rip, man, and we'll do this expeditiously, okay? So, one of our native Houstonians just about 6 days ago was tragically and disgustingly put to death on the side of the road by a police officer. And for an individual like me, it's very difficult to see something like that and not get angered or not, take umbrage with it in some sort of way or have some type of indignation for police officers and law enforcement, period. I'm not going to voice my entire opinion on it because that would take up this entire show and nobody else on here would get a chance to talk. You know what I mean? But it touched my heart because it's look, I think that if you're African American or black or whatever you call yourself, African descent, whatever, you should not be oblivious to the fact that African Americans have been relegated in this country, ever since we came here on the Atlantic slave trade and the ships that we came over here in. And so it's I believe, me personally, in Matthew chapter 24, where it says that nations will be against nations. Okay, and if not to do a whole little Greek lesson here, but it means ethnic groups against ethnic groups. Okay, and so I'm not a racist, man. I love all people, but what it is what it's gonna be. It's tragic that that man died the way that he did, and the others, but it's going to, this ain't the first time, it ain't gonna be the last time. And I just want to state this real quick opinion, and I'll let you guys confabulate on how you feel about it briefly, and we'll move on. But if you want to for change to go forward, if you want to move forward with America amicably, the only way you can do that is to continue to educate black men. I'm gonna say this quick. If any of y'all know who Trick Daddy is a rapper from Miami. Okay, he grew up in the same projects Betty Wright did, RIP. He has 10 brothers. His mother had 11 boys with 10 different baby daddies. Okay, and so the reason for this is when you're on welfare, you are on housing or Section 8, the father cannot live there. Okay, so it's a vicious cycle that keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And my point to all of this, because I could break all this down, but again, I want to be brief, is that until we start deciding that we're going to, as black folks, go out there and work for our own and be respectful to others and be respectful to law enforcement, the cycle is going to continue as far as feeling like, hey, this is what we need to do. We need to tear down our neighborhood. We need to set cars on fire for there to be justice. That's not the way it works, folks. Because somebody will be screaming justice for you when you get arrested for looting or for setting a car on fire. What you do is you educate our black men, because the fact of the matter is that you cannot expect things to be better if you're not doing things in a manner that's gonna move things forward. So Pop, if you got anything on that, go ahead and express yourself, man, and we'll move on to Rod.
Yeah, Rich, my heart has been heavy the whole week, man, because it jogged my memory. And I was just thinking just this morning, man, in 1965, in the city of Jonesboro, Louisiana, where I grew up, it was probably one of the most racially disturbed cities in the whole nation. As a matter of fact, Jonesboro and Bogalusa, Louisiana, you can Google it or go to some other sites and stuff, and and find out about this story. And my family, J.R. Wilson, Thelma Wilson, we were at the center of it. One of the complaints from the local kids that J.R., both of our namesake, was getting a little long in the tooth, and they needed a new principal at the high school, Jackson High School. Let me say a few things about that. At the time, what the kids didn't know that when we got books, my old man used to get the books from the white school. They would be used books, but he would personally call the white principal at Jonesboro Hard High School to get books on our football field. We didn't have a scoreboard. Somebody had to write the scores down on a sheet of paper, if you can believe that. We're talking about in the 60s, middle 60s. He was able to get a used scoreboard after the white high school decided to get a new one. Stay with me on the story now, okay?
All right.
Crosses were burned in front of our houses, in front of our house, many nights. We had 2 churches that were burned down simultaneously by the Ku Klux Klan, okay? And so they rebuilt one of the churches, and as soon as they got ready to move into the church, Ku Klux Klan burned it down again. So at that point, man, and you can Google this, they came up with an organization called the Deacons of Defense, okay? And like I said, you can go online and Google it. And what they decided to do was, at the time, those houses back then were on bricks. They were going to get under the houses, and if the Ku Klux Klan came through again, burned down the church again, it was going to be some fire, okay? Fortunately, nothing happened. They didn't come through again. But the irony of the story is J.R., who was the principal of the local high school, who all the kids were ready to get rid of, and he was long in the tooth. He was about 65 at the time. He had bad feet, okay? So He had house shoes that he wore all the time. I mean, when he was behind his desk. No, on his desk.
Okay.
At his office, okay? As soon as he got to his desk, he pulled his shoes off, put his house shoes on. And he was the head steward at his church. He had house shoes. They had a grocery store that we owned. He had his house shoes, 3 sets of house shoes. And so what happened was the kids were protesting out in front of this white grocery store, McKinney grocery store. I can remember it like it was yesterday. They were marching with the signs because what they were saying was, there's a white grocery store in a black community and no black people work there. They're making the money off black people. And so what they did was the mayor of the city had the fire department come down, and what they were going to do was they were going to spray the kids with the fire hose. Right. And that could have killed some people.
No doubt.
JR looked up and saw what was going on and didn't have time to put his shoes on. And what he did, he had his suit and tie on, but he walked down there in his house shoes. And he said, if you're going to put water on anybody, put the first drop on me. Put the first drop on me. And he was well respected in the community and stuff. And so the fire department turned around and they left. I said all that to say this. We protested back then, but it was very, very peaceful, okay? There was no rioting. There was no looting. They didn't break in that store. That store was in the black community. That was a railroad track that divided the black community from the white community. These were white people making money in the black community. But that same man, J.R. Wilson, who they were trying to get rid of, say, if you're going to put water on somebody, put the first drop on me. And I'm going to say one more thing, Rich, and you've heard this story many times. I was a little boy. I was maybe 5 or 6, and we'd be on our way to Houston. And my grandmother, who was an older lady and stuff, she had to urinate a lot. And so she said, Thelma, that was my mother, you need to stop. I'm going to have to urinate. My mother would pull over. She would walk out in the woods and urinate and wipe herself with leaves because she couldn't stop at the gas stations or any of the hotels because it was white only. So again, I thought this thing was dead. I thought this thing was nice, but you millennials, you're not going for that. Listen, trust me, some of them cats that's in this demonstration and this march, this protest, if their grandmother need to use the bathroom, they're gonna go in and hold somebody up with some pistols and stuff. Yeah. So my grandmother didn't use the bathroom. Okay, right. We didn't do that. So it's a different time, and that's what people have to understand, man. It's a different time. This bitterness that these young men are feeling. This comes from generations, okay? Not just decades, generations of people mistreating African American people. And so, again, I hate to see it, but hey, those 4 officers, all 4 of them, need to be charged. And the lead officer, first degree murder. If you go back, and I think this is gonna happen, listen, I'm gonna get off. See, him and Floyd had some connections. They both worked at a club. And see, Floyd was dating a white girl. Okay? Now, hey, put the two together.
Right.
He was dating a white girl, and even the woman that owned the club said that this officer, he was quick to pull out his canister and stuff and wanted to pepper spray everybody. Floyd was a Jim John. So, hey, man, those are my comments. I hope that and pray that this thing doesn't get bigger than it is. But I'm gonna tell you this: until those 4 officers are charged, we're gonna see these protests.
And look, I'm just an addendum to what you just said is that it also came out that it looks as though the Oriental descent officer that was standing right next to the situation that was happening, the officer that had his knee on the neck of George Floyd is actually the husband of that officer's sister. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And the situation you talking about, that guy was actually his boss. You know what I mean? It was his boss. And so,
gotcha.
yeah, man, it's a sensitive subject. And Rod, man, look, ain't no pressure, man. If you don't have nothing on this, man, we can move on. But if it's something you want to speak on, man, go on and speak your mind. If not, man, we'll go ahead and segue.
Nah, definitely, man. I don't mind. I don't mind talking about it, man. I think the first I saw it on social media first, tweets about it, and I kind of almost wanted to run away from it at first. Our first reaction, I was just busy with life, and I
Right.
was like, I'll see what that was about. 2 days later, I went. That's when I saw the video, and it's one of those things that you couldn't. Just as a black man, you couldn't shake. Even if you wanted to get it off your mind, you couldn't.
Right.
Just when you look around the world and what's going on, you can't get it off your mind. And I think it's something that, like you said, it starts. It's generational.
Right.
I think it's something that's planted in the subconscious mind time after time that's taught. Me and my girlfriend at lunch today, a little 4-year-old, 2 white kids walked by us with their mom, waving at us at the table, we're playing with them. And it's one of those things that kind of went off in my head. Like, they don't know color right now. They don't know
Right.
black from white from anything.
Right.
But it's the same way that years down the line, their thought process of how they view it and see it and the actions of those people change. And you think what changed from them as a child to that same person as an adult, and it's just what they've been taught during that time period.
Exactly.
So it's one of
Right.
those things. The writing I definitely disagree with, man. But I can say I understand
Right.
because you look at the big picture. Colin Kaepernick, he peacefully protested.
Right.
Right.
Now I say he did it smart in a smart manner because he hit him where it hurt. The NFL is a $1 billion industry.
Right.
So him using on that specific platform, he hit the people where it hurt in their pockets. And you saw what happened with him. He never played it down to football again,
And never
post that
will.
protest. And probably never will, sad to say.
Right.
And I think NFL owner or executive came out yesterday and he was the first to formally say that's the reason his NFL career is over because of that, because he took a stance on that. So it's one of those things. We peacefully protested, but it's at the point now where I think people are fed up, man.
Yeah.
You look at Ahmad, you look at what just happened with Rick
Breonna
Floyd,
Taylor.
and it's just like
Oh,
one
yeah.
of them things. Yeah, Sandra Bland is just at this point, it's almost like a month to month thing.
Right.
I
Right.
think at this point, for the power of social media, it's like literally. I saw Steven Jackson say he said something powerful. He said, "If I slap the cameraman right now, everybody saw me, witness me slapping that cameraman. Everybody watched me do it. They know I did it. Exact same thing. Everybody witnessed these 4 officers murder this man, and now there's people acting like but he did this or but you know. And I think the rioting also is with Donald Trump. It is what it is. You feel how you feel about him. My thing with him in this situation, especially with the African Americans, they're waiting for him to address the exact issue. Every time an African American is killed or murdered, he always beats around the bush of what's going on. We need to do better as people. We need to. He might say positive things. We need to love each other, something positive, but he never addresses the direct issue of the police murdered that black man. He did not deserve to be murdered. I think that's what people are fed up with.
No doubt about it.
I
Pop, yeah.
think it's a big picture.
Pop,
Well,
yeah. One more thing. Go ahead.
well, man. Again, I don't want to get too deep, Rich. You know how I feel about it, man. But I researched Francis Scott Key, who wrote the Star Spangled Banner.
Right.
He was a slave owner. I
Yeah,
researched Betsy Ross, who made
I
the
looked at that.
American flag. Her husband was a slave owner. So I know we're supposed to forgive and forget. And trust me, those wounds that were inflicted on me back when I was a teenager, those wounds were closed. But the events of this last 3 weeks and this last 3 to 5 years, those wounds have reopened. And now
Yeah,
salt is
definitely.
being poured in them. I didn't know Floyd, but I'm sure I'd met him. I was
Yeah,
recruiting Yates High School back during that time. Alfred Grisby and Tim Moore were coming through. And so he was on that Yates football team and the Yates basketball team. And so I was in that gym many days and stuff. And so I'm sure that if I go back and jog my memory, that we probably had some conversation. I probably walked in the gym and, hey, man, who are you? I'm looking for Grisby, but you 6'6", dog. I want you too. And he probably gave me,
yeah,
he probably
yeah,
gave me one of them big smiles. Oh, coach, I can't play. You're looking for them
yeah.
Grisby, So,
Yeah.
if I really, really, really jog my memory, I've met this young man before. Did you say you may have met him, Mitch?
Yeah, man. I've definitely. I ain't gonna say I met him, but I have been in his company a few times. Actually, have heard him on I don't know if you familiar with DJ Screw, but
Yeah, he was
his
part of
name.
SEC, man.
Yeah, Big
He was part of
Floyd,
SEC
man.
back in the gap. Yeah,
Yeah, Big
yeah,
Floyd, man.
yeah.
Definitely was on freestyling on some screw tapes.
Okay.
And that's something that a part of the Houston culture that I grew up in or whatever. But yeah, man. It's a sad situation, man. But people out there don't act like this ain't the first time. It ain't gonna be the last time. The best thing to do is not necessarily comply, but to liberate. To liberate one another by educating ourselves, whether it be in school or research and
That's powerful, man.
starting
Yeah,
our own companies, and that's something that they doing a whole lot now, especially in Atlanta. They're
Exactly.
really getting it
yeah,
together, man, saying like, hey
yeah,
man,
bro.
look, we're gonna work together. We're
Right.
gonna liberate one another. I'm gonna make
Mhm.
money off you. You're gonna make money off of me, and we're
Right.
gonna come up. And they starting to see that, and that's somewhat of a, I guess a de facto Black Wall Street in our time now, as it
Right.
was, in the 20s in Tulsa,
Right.
Oklahoma. So speaking of black, man, I'm gonna segue, man, into something a little bit more positive, man. But look, I have a question, man, and I'm not gonna speak on it first. I'm going to ask the question to each of you. Okay, so here's my question. I am completely biased towards Deshaun Watson. It ain't I got to be honest. You know what I mean? I do feel like Patrick Mahomes is better. I do feel like Drew Brees is better. I do feel like Tom Brady is better and Russell Wilson. But man, I do not feel like this individual that I'm about to bring up right now is better than Deshaun Watson. Yet he did win the MVP, and I would not minimize, his accomplishments here of
Yeah,
recent. But
yeah.
the question is, and I'm gonna ask you this first, Roy, because you're a guest on our show today. Will Lamar Jackson have another MVP like season?
Man, we win the MVP again. I can't say yes for sure. A lot of people like new faces, man. A lot of people like to see this the new hot thing popping. But I can say, I think he will, man.
Wow.
I think you look at Baltimore and the system they're running for him.
Yeah.
And you can say what you want about talent, this, that. They got the head coach, the right system. We go back and forth all day. If this quarterback played for this coach, he would have a ring. We go back and forth with that. But with this system, they really molded it for his talents, man. You have a receiver taking snaps every single play, get him in open space, and he's dominating. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
D line, safety, DB, you got Lamar Jackson in open space. That you probably taking the L on that one right there. So
Wow.
I think it's really gonna be some, It's tough. I think MVP like season. Now playoffs is a whole different ball game. I
Right.
won't say he's gonna be taken to the Super Bowl definitely. But MVP regular season, definitely I could see him definitely in that top 3 conversation again.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna hold my comments for right now because I'm gonna allow my old man to answer this same question, Pop. And I ask you the same question: will Lamar Jackson have another MVP like season?
I say no, and I'm gonna tell you why. If I know Mike Tomlin, he found him one of them Harvard grads, one of them nerds. That's a freaking brainiac.
Right.
And he told him, he said, I want you to study tape, and I want you to come up with a gadget defense to stop this guy.
Yeah.
Okay? And I want you and my DC, if y'all need to move in together, y'all move in together because we can stop him, and we gonna stop him. And so you have got to be able to gadget deep offenses just don't work very long in the National Football League, man. Look at the run and shoot. It took teams a minute to catch up with the run and shoot, and that's what Warren Moon being so freaking gifted, man.
Yeah.
But they caught up with it. They shut him down, and we're talking about a Hall of Fame quarterback ended up having to leave Houston because he couldn't get it done anymore. And Warren Moon went on had some good years and stuff, but it wasn't a run and shoot.
Yeah, you know what? Like father, like son on this subject, Rod. I have to vehemently disagree with you, my guy. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why, and I'm gonna do this expeditiously. Expeditiously. Look, I am a proponent of black quarterbacks in the NFL getting it right because my father and I had dialogue about 5 or 6 years ago about how black quarterbacks are not better than white quarterbacks. That's what I was saying because they were not teaching black quarterbacks how to be quarterbacks. They was letting them be athletes. I can
definitely agree with that statement.
Right. Hence Michael Vick. Okay.
I can definitely agree with that. Yeah.
Right. Hence Randall Cunningham. Okay. So but now somebody got the memo. Somebody must have listened to what I had to say. You know what I mean? Somebody caught what I said because now these cats, they coming out, they doing their thing. But Lamar Miller, okay? Lamar Miller showed me, and I knew this, and he exposed himself. Okay. Like they say, man, I seen his draws. Okay. I saw this when okay. I saw this when I told my pop, I told my old man, I said, Pop, as soon as they make him throw that football, as soon as they have to, they make him win the game by throwing the football, he gonna have some problems. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw how he was in Louisville. You know what I'm saying? And he's he is one of the most dynamic, athletic quarterbacks, man, you've ever seen. He's more athletic than Michael Vick to me, and that's probably blasphemous to the the state of Virginia's for looks. You know what I mean? But the truth is the truth, man. He probably run a 4.3, 4.2 in the 40. Okay, but when they made him use his arm, he couldn't do it. Tennessee shut him down, and because the NFL is a copycat league, they saw exactly what Mike Vrabel and the Tennessee Titans did, and everybody's going to follow suit. Okay, not that the Baltimore Ravens won't get better. Okay, not that he still won't be wreaking havoc, but to have an MVP like season, I don't think it's going to happen because I think once they get that film on you, okay, everyone they get the film on is relegated to not so super when you were super the year before. So I do not believe that Lamar Jackson will have an MVP like season. And so that's just what it is. And we're gonna stay in the NFL, man, because there's something going on right now, man, with the guy, man. I wish that we could get here, man, in Houston, man, for the Houston Texans, because Lord knows, okay, as well as all the fans, that we need a viable safety. Okay, we got rid of Tayshaun Gibson. I don't know why. Man. And I'm telling you, man, I don't want to go on a rant about Bill O'Brien on this show, man, but I'm telling you right now,
man. First time wearing this jersey in a long time, man. First time wearing this jersey in a long time. It's, I put it on for y'all, man. I'm still hurt.
Hey, man, you got to rep it, man. Look, that's what it's about, man. When you're a person, you got to feel that hurt, man. You got to feel those emotions, man. You know what I'm saying, that God has given us. You got to feel all that. So yeah, I feel all of it, and I take great umbrage with Bill O'Brien, man, as an individual, as decision-making person, he is incompetent to say the least. Okay, but I'm not gonna make this about him right now. Who I'm gonna make it about is there's a guy right now who is crying for help. Okay. And the Houston Texans can help him. Okay. Pop, the Steelers, y'all don't need nobody. Your defense is good. Okay. So if you have any interjections, it'll be a moot point. Okay. Y'all have a great defense. But Jamal Adams, man, they won't pay the man. And I'm a little flabbergasted that they won't pay him, because here's the thing. He's probably, if not the best safety in the league, he's top 3 safety in the league.
Top 3,
easily. Okay.
Easy.
And the Jets don't want to pay him. Jets, Jets. Y'all suck, bro. Y'all suck. And you don't want to pay this man who's probably the face of your franchise, not Sam Darnold. Okay. You don't want to pay him. So the question I have for you is, and I'll start with you this time, Pop. Okay. And this is the talk, from pundits and prognosticators. This is the talk. Will Jamal Adams be a Dallas Cowboy in this upcoming season?
Okay, I'm going to answer that real quickly, then I'm going to segue back to some points that you made, Rich. Yes. And hey, listen, if we had this stuff to trade for to get Jamal Adams, hey, we could always get a better player.
Yeah.
Okay? We could always pair him with Michael Fitzpatrick. But we're talking about the Jets, man.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Jets. I love Le'Veon Bell. I love him. I have a man crush on him. But we were not going to give him the kind of money that the Jets gave him. And look what happened to him last year. We're talking about an organization that gave up the number 1 pick, the big defensive tackle out of USC and stuff. They don't know what they're doing.
At all.
They don't know this guy could be the cornerstone of your defense. And you won't pay him. Yeah. So Jerry Jones, he's sitting there, he knowing that, hey, man, if I add this guy, that may put me over the top.
Yeah.
That may put me over the top. And so he's talking to his son. His son said, "Oh, Dad, a 1 and a 2 is too much." And Jerry telling him, "Well, what about a 1 and a 3? Well, let me think about that, Dad. So let me just tell you right now, he'll be wearing number 33 for the team up 45 when the season starts."
I don't know if you saw me kind of moving my head like this, but I was looking for a trash can. Okay. So I could use it as a prop to talk about the Jets. And so, Rod, I asked you the same question, man. Do you think that Jamal Adams will be a Dallas Cowboy in this upcoming season?
I think potential is definitely there, man. Like he said, the Jets, bro. That's the home of the butt fumble, man. The Jets, that's the image you think when you see the Jets. You think Mark Sanchez, it's horrible. I think people get drafted in New York, have to smile because got drafted. You're not excited to be a Jet, man. You're never excited to be a Jet.
Bro,
for Jamal Adams, he's probably the best thing they got in a while, man. I don't see why not pay that man. But for him, he's a Texas boy. I watched him play at LSU.
Yeah,
Texas boy, he dying to come back home, man. And one thing, we can talk about the Cowboys all we want. Jerry Jones not scared to go get somebody and take a chance. If they don't pan out, they don't pan out. But I tell you, Jerry, he will bring anybody to Jerry World. No matter who you beat, who you fought, what you've been through. Look, we gonna try them. It's the home of second, third, fourth chances. But I think so, man. I think so. That's a cornerstone right there. That's a young upcoming safety. You get him to solidify the defense 3 to 5 years minimum. He's in his prime. So yeah, I think Jerry will go after him definitely.
Let me add one other thing, Rich.
Go ahead.
And help me with this. Who is the head coach of the New York Jets?
The head coach of the New York Jets. You know what? I don't even know. They flipped their coaches so many times. I don't know who the head coach.
It was a black dude, Bowles. I think they got rid of him.
Bowles ain't there no more. I don't even know. That's how I don't pay attention to the Jets at all.
Okay. I can't remember his name either.
I do know this. Oh, look at that. Adam Gase, old Dolphins.
Adam Gase. And if I remember the story right, he was fired by the Miami Dolphins for not being able to get the job done.
Right.
2 months later, the Jets hire him. So that just goes to show you what kind of organization the Jets are, man. They don't have a clue what they're doing and stuff. And hey, the New York papers kill them every day.
You know what, Pop? This ain't in the rundown, but this just makes me feel about this. This makes me think about Eric Bieniemy, okay, the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. You got a dude like Adam Gates, right? Who is trash, BFI, allied waste, recycle bin, square container turned upside down. You understand me?
Trash.
Yeah, he gets a job.
Yeah,
like you said, quickly right after he, gets pushed. As he gets pushed out of Miami, but you got Eric Bieniemy who ran the best offense the last 2 years, yet he don't have no job. You know what I mean? And so I don't know, man. I to me, it's not about color when I talk about this, even though it might sound that way, but it's about, man, who is the best man for the job. You know what I mean? Who's qualified, and how do you qualify or quantify, you know what I'm saying, making the decision that you made with Adam Gates. Okay. I just for me, I can't fathom it. And for me to actually, my rebuttal towards Jamal Adams is he ain't going nowhere, man. He not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. Dallas don't have the money to get him. Okay, they would have to do something real stupid. And I know Jerry is going to keep that star relevant. That's what he does. He does a great job at it. I would argue and say that. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Rich. Before we close out this segment, I'm Jerry Jones, okay?
Okay.
So I have my lawyers call your lawyers, Jamal Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jamal, I've got a spot of land out in Plano, Texas, about 40 acres, okay? It's 50 horses on that land, okay? And they, all of them Kentucky Derby kind of horses, okay? Do you think that's enough money? Do you think that's enough resources? Would you take that deal?
Jamal Adams is from Louisville, Texas. Okay,
Louisville. Well, we can move that. Hey, I got 200 acres in Louisville. Then is that a little better?
He probably do while you playing.
And I can be right over.
Listen, I'll be a grandma house. I'll be a mama house, and I'll be your sister's a mall. You think that'll get him? There's ways to get stuff done, bitch.
You're right. That under the table stuff is real.
Under the table, thank you.
It's real, but if Jamal Adams knows what's best for him,
do you think Zion Williams went to Duke and stuff because they're the best academic school in the nation, or were they the best basketball program in the nation? Thank you. No. No.
I don't. I guess I'm going to take the opposition here and believe that no one is crazy enough on the Jets to say, "Hey, man, look, we gonna let our best player go." Who's better than Jamal Adams on the Jets? Jets right now.
There's nobody on the Texans crazy enough to let Hopkins go. Here we are. So
thank you,
bro.
Here we are,
bro. See, now you just helped me say, okay, hey, look, Rod, look out in a couple weeks. We gonna have you back, and we gonna have a whole show on Bill O'Brien, because this is
don't do that.
It's warranted. It's warranted. It's warranted. This is long overdue. It's long overdue, man. This psychotic coach that we got is long overdue, man. You know what I mean?
I got PTSD from Bill right now, man.
I'm right. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. But since that is not particularly what we are talking about today, this is something we're going to table and we're going to get back at, because I promise you, man, I can go so many segments about Bill O'Brien, man. And the thing is, I had a lot of respect for Bill O'Brien, because I just, I like that tough guy. You know what I mean? Hey, man, look, we gonna do it this way. If it works, you know what I'm saying, triumphant. If not, you know what I'm saying, I'm moving on. You know what I mean? All in. It's all or nothing. And I think that's what Bill O'Brien is. But some of the, the incompetent decisions that he has made, man, has really, man, has dragged me to another place, man. And I just want to move on, man, right now to the NBA, man. And right now, man, obviously you see the real star, not that Dallas Cowboys crap. You know what I'm saying? You see the real star on my hat right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's them Houston Astros. You understand me? And so right now, there is there's a situation going on in the MLB where they're trying to figure out, well, all the sports except the NHL, they got to figure it out, but all the sports are trying to figure out how in the world they're gonna bring baseball back. Okay. And me personally, I don't feel like they're going to be able to do it because there's too much nuance to what has to happen in the rules that have been implemented from different governors of different states. And I know there's a lot of smart people in the room, like, in the White House and Pentagon, when they're making colossal decisions on things that are going to affect the country. But I don't think that they're going to be able to do the MLB the way they wanted to. I don't know if they'll even be able to kickstart it. But I guess my question here is, and actually my pop posed this question, and Rod, I'll start with you, man. Do you think that Major League Baseball is going to be able to come back at all? Is it a possibility for that?
Man, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough, man. Top of my head, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no off top of my head, man. Owners already saying they willing to let the whole season go. Players want the money. I've heard owners, they want to let's do a shortened season. But a lot of owners are saying, look, man, we're perfectly fine. If y'all don't want to play for, a pay cut, we're perfectly fine to let it go. It's a tough situation, man. It's a tough situation all around. But I say, nah, I don't think baseball happened this year. Which bad for my Astros? I'll take it just to kind of, we've been through the last few years. Everybody forgot about us when we've been through.
I know it.
So I kind of like, hey, we might have got a little, that might be our past.
And Rod, let me enlighten you on something that you might not know. Let me enlighten you on something that you might not know. Do you see the man in the upper right-hand corner of your screen right now? I don't know what corner of the screen he's in right now, but right up under his picture, it has the name
top right.
Ping Wilson. Okay. That just happens to be my biological father. Okay. And he is a New York Yankees fan. Okay. To the core.
To the core.
Man, I never knew, Ping. Sorry about you.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry about you, man.
Yeah,
so I mean,
my best friend Yankees fan. Right? I got a lot of my friends are Yankees fans. So it is what it is.
My father does not understand his disposition as far as the demographics are concerned for the people that are from Louisiana. Naturally, you should, curve to the Houston Astros. We right next door to you. Okay. There's no other team around. And I won't let my old man go into why he's a Yankees fan, and he has a good reason. I ain't gonna lie about it. I'm just, I'm busting his balls right now, and that's just what it is. You know what I mean? But he's definitely a Yankees fan, man. And yes, we have been through a lot, the Astros, and I know the Yankees feel like, and my old man don't feel this way. They feel like we still cheated this year, even though we cheated in 2017. But yeah. I mean, it is. Come on. I mean, shoot, man, this is another show. Okay, that we would have to do, But so, Pop, you see what's going on between the players and the owners. I think it's absolutely ridiculous what the owners are, asking of the players, especially when they've already, agreed on a pay cut because of what's going on with this pandemic. But this new proposal, man, that came up was just absolutely asinine, man, and it was disrespectful, I think. But nevertheless, the owners proposed it, man, and I thought that baseball was going to be probably one of the first sports right behind the NBA or before that was going to start up. But now that the owners have brought this new proposal to the players ain't having none of this. Okay. Talking about, you might be making 50 mil this year, but hey, we just gonna pay you 15 mil. Let's do that. These are unprecedented circumstances. The players ain't having none of that. Because guess what? If you sell your team, am I gonna get some of that stake? Right? No, I don't think so. So pay me my money. So the question goes to you and is posed to you, Pop. Do you think the MLB will come back?
Hey, let me segue back just 1 second, Rich. If you would give me 1 minute, I'll move on to the question.
Okay.
Rod, one of the many, many reasons that I am a New York Yankee fan.
Oh Lord.
Here we
Oh,
go.
Lord.
I'm listening.
One of the
My
many
boy, just
reasons.
I'm talking Callie Harris. He right there
Yeah.
with you. Die hard
Yeah.
Yankee fan, man. Got it together.
A brother who we just paid our last respects to, Bob Watson, was the assistant general manager here in Houston for the Houston Astros, the team that he played for. And when the job came open for him to be the general manager, he gave it to Tal Smith, a white guy. George Steinbrenner, the owner of the Yankees, called him up and said, "Big Bob, we got a job for you in New York to be the general manager." He went with the Yankees. They won one of many world championships that they won. So that's one of many reasons. Now, to your question, baseball is over. Okay?
Is it plain and simple, huh?
Yeah, it's over. Tomorrow is June 1st. They don't have a plan in place. You got the billionaires versus the millionaires, and the billionaires gonna win this. Trust me, they can afford to write this off and get a big tax break.
Right.
But if I'm Aaron Judge don't make probably $1 million a year. He's probably still on his rookie deal and stuff. His endorsements probably run $8, $9, $10 million a year. But you got guys who haven't been in the league a very long time that's making the minimum.
But Pop, you remember what happened back in 1994 with the MLB? Do you think this is going to be something that's bigger than that?
Absolutely, Rich.
Wow, really?
It's going to take something bigger than that. It's going to take something bigger than that for people to come back. Listen, man, people out there starving, man. People out there in food lines and stuff, man. But if you ask them people, hey, which would you prefer today? Get your food from the food line or go to see your Astros? They go see the Astros, man. They love that team that much. And for millionaires and billionaires to be arguing, see, we don't know what that is about. You know what I'm saying? We don't understand that. And you're right, Rich. The proposals that the owners offered were ridiculous and stuff. But they billionaires, guys. Billionaires do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But all them guys who are some of them young players, they're not billionaires. They're not thousandaires. Some of them ain't got 50 cents in the bank, okay?
Right.
Yeah. Especially the minor leaguers, man. Especially those. I see some how minor leaguers really live. That's not like a top draft pick. It's rough out there for them, man.
Oh, it's rough. It's rough. And you see what
I never knew. I never knew.
David Price, man, the pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, man, he's said he was gonna give he was gonna donate $1,000, man, to each and every minor leaguer for the month of June, man. And that's about a good $50,000-$60,000, man. It's gonna help them greatly.
A lot of those guys lost their job. They part of that 40 million people who don't have jobs now.
Right.
The owners just cut them loose.
Right.
And you guys saw it in the Michael Jordan's documentary, The Last Dance. Michael Jordan's team didn't even have a bus. He had to go buy him a bus. Yeah. Okay, that's how poor some of these minor league teams are, man.
Yeah.
So no, Major League Baseball not in 2020.
And I feel the same thing about the NBA, Pop. And speaking of the NBA, James, have you seen James Harden lately, man? This cat.
My boy's looking, you know what I'm saying? My boy's, hey, I don't know.
I don't know if I felt like this. I'm like, bro, you like Arian Foster? You ain't eating no meat. You looking slim out here, baby. You know what I'm saying, Rod? I'm born and raised in Houston, baby. We eat good down here, and I'm looking at James Harden. I'm like, bro, you eating shrubs or what? What's going on?
Hey, he back home and stuff. He might be sneaking around with Chloe Hushian again. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man, I hope not, man. That was the worst year ever for him, man. That we had to deal with when he was messing with Khloe Kardashian, man. But so I mean, do you, Pop? Do you think that James Harden is still going to be able to be dominant, even though he's gotten so skinny, man? You think he's still gonna be able to do that little step back when he, you know what I'm saying, put a body on him and step back on him with this little skinny body he got right now?
You know, Rich, I think it's yet to be seen. If now, let me tell you now, if he's been in the weight room, if he's been lifting, if he's maintained his strength in losing the 20 to 25 pounds, he's going to be okay.
Right.
But if he's been on some Miami diet or something like that, then no, because people gonna hit that arm, and that arm gonna go back. Okay, or when he comes through that lane, they're gonna put a bone on him and knock him down.
Yeah.
So hey,
Yeah.
It's a good question, Rich.
Yeah, that's how they did Jordan. That's how they did Jordan before he started lifting weights. They were them Pistons.
Beat my boy up, man.
Knocking him down. Yeah. So I mean, Rod, man, I don't know if you've seen these pictures of James Harden, man, but I'm talking about, man, he riding here looking like a Zimbabwean village man. You understand me? Like, damn, bro, you need to come to that.
I'm African. Easy. We are not all skinny bones, not all of them.
I know it. That's why I said village people, man. You going to like Lagos or something like that. Them cats eat good, man. But man, he riding there, he eating shrubs and blood soup, man. I don't know what's going on with him.
James gonna be all right, man. James gonna be good. I say, you look at remember LeBron? I mean, you remember LeBron a few years back? He looked like an NFL linebacker, if you remember.
Oh yeah,
kind of them heat days, and he trimmed down so he have that, get a little quicker. I think James, I mean, he's a guard. You look at his game, the step back. I think it could be possibly even quicker now.
Right.
I think really what you're looking at is, that Euro, him going to the hole, taking the contact. Because he got smaller doesn't mean he's still going to draw contact the same way he been drawing contact, man.
Yeah.
He's a body control style player. He's never been the fastest guard anyway.
Yeah.
So I think if you look at what he's doing, the position he's in, I think it'll make him better, man. I think it'll definitely make him better. Now on defense, he's been able to, hold some bigger guys in the post. Now will he still be able to do that? I can't promise you that at the same, level. But definitely, I think on the offensive end of the ball, I think he'll be the same, potentially even better, man. Definitely. I think he'll be all right.
Well, I hope so, man. If you're losing that weight, I need you to be quicker, man. And so I just, me,
definitely.
I'm a Southern boy, yeah, man. I was born and bred on cornbread. You know what I mean? So, when you're looking like that, man, when Arian Foster was like, I ain't eating meat no more, I was a little concerned. I'm like, man, hey, look, you need lean and protein.
I feel like he wasn't the same after that, man. Left to right after that, bro.
No, he wasn't.
Them shrubs, look, your bones need protein. You know what I mean? You eat them shrubs. You know what I mean? It's good for your intestinal system and pulmonary issues you may have or whatever. But man, them bones, man, they need protein. So, but yeah, man, we gonna kick right back to the NFL, man, because there's something that's going around right now, and I just think it's absolute foolishness. Okay, I just want to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I'm an honest individual. I learned something about myself that I'm an extrovert to my detriment. Okay, and I just want to be honest, man. There is talk out right now that Justin James Watt, as we know him as JJ Watt, one of the best defensive linemen of all time. If he retired right now, he would be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Ain't no doubt about it, indubitably, unequivocally, okay? And if anybody wants to argue with me on that, you can comment and we can argue and you'll lose, okay? And so he's one of the best, but there's some talk out right now that he's going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler next season, and I just think that's absolute foolishness. I mean, it's folly. It ain't no other way to say it. So, Pop, I'm gonna start this question with you, obviously, because you are a avid Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So I'm gonna ask you, man, do you really truly believe, verily, that JJ Watt will be in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform come season?
Rich, I'm gonna give you the possibilities, okay? JJ's agent is gonna go in there and ask for 3 years, $60 million with 55 of it guaranteed.
Right.
And the Houston Texans is gonna say, JJ, we love you. We hope you wear our helmet at your Hall of Fame induction, but we're not gonna give you that kind of money. The other thing you look at, Rich, is that this Watt family is a very, very close family.
I don't normally do this, but let me interject right now.
Okay.
You said something about money. Bill O'Brien has made it very, very clear that he will give trash players all of them. He gave a guy, I don't even know his name. Is it Keith Murray? No, that's the rapper. Okay. Eric Murray from the Cleveland Browns, he gave him 3 years, $21 million.
Oh my God,
okay.
Bro,
do you know him? I don't know him.
Here we go, bro.
I never heard of him. Yet he gave him that money.
Never heard of. I had to Google him.
I had to Google them too, and I watched some film, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what y'all see. Maybe Weaver see something I don't see. Yet Bill O'Brien gave him that money, and you don't think that Bill O'Brien would give JJ Watt the money to extend them, Pop? I had to interject because I had to ask that question to get some clarity, man, and make sure that I'm hearing
it. I think this is where Cal McNair is going to make the biggest mistake of his young professional career, because he's going to listen to the pundits, and the pundits going to say, hey, he ain't worth that kind of money. We ain't paying him that. Okay? Now stay with me now so I can continue my story.
I'm here.
His girlfriend, sorry about that, his wife was traded from the
Chicago, yes.
Okay, to Chicago. Okay? This is a very close-knit family. Now, he is from Wisconsin. Right. Family from Wisconsin, okay?
Right.
All that is the what? Is that the West? I mean, East, Midwest. It's closer to Pittsburgh and Wisconsin and Chicago. A little closer than Houston, Texas. Okay? Now, his wife going to be, which is his heart, going to be playing up there. Two of his brothers are already with the Steelers. Okay? I think he'll take a discount to play with his brothers for 1 or 2 years, because that's just the way. Where did all his brothers go to college? They all went to Wisconsin. They all went there as tight ends. Okay, JJ ended up being a defensive end. The one with us, TJ, ended up being an outside linebacker. And Eric ended up being a fullback. So if you just look at the history of the Watt family, hey man, I grew up only boy. Family of one family had four. It was 4 boys. The other family, it was 3 boys. The other family was 3 boys. Birds of a feather flock together, man. And what way to end your career and to be in your career with your brothers, playing with your brothers and stuff. Nothing against the Houston Texans and nothing against Bill O'Brien. But the pundits in this city have been trying to get rid of J.J. Watt for 5 years. Okay?
Right.
And we're talking about you got to pay number 4 in excess or close to $200 million. Would y'all agree with that?
I would agree with that.
And with about 180 left guaranteed?
No, not guaranteed. You talking about maybe.
5 years, 200 million.
Okay.
180 million guaranteed.
Okay, we'll say I'll say yes on that. Yes, I think so.
Rich ain't gonna be no money left for JJ. He done made all these dumb moves. And look what he paying Whitney Merciless. Come on, man. I like Whitney, but come on, 13 million a year.
Pop, and I'm sorry, Rod, man. Let me jump in here, man. They're only doing this because Derek Watt has now joined the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Derek and TJ are on the same team right now. Okay.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, man, they're together all the time. In this whole pandemic, they've been sheltered in together, man. Okay?
Exactly.
And I get what you're saying. Yes.
You're making my point for me, Rich.
I know it,
man.
When JJ had his only sack during the playoffs, who was going crazy all over Twitter, huh?
I know TJ was going crazy. Yeah, I know it. But think about the iconic, you know what? I'm going to use a word that I don't use, the godlike status that J.J. Watt has in the city of Houston, Texas, man.
Was he bigger than Earl? Was he bigger than Earl Campbell?
Bigger than Earl Campbell.
Bigger than Akeem Olajuwon?
Oh, I was a little younger.
Don't you do that, Rich. Don't you do that, Rich.
I ain't gonna say he was bigger. Oh,
don't you do that, Rich.
Akeem?
I ain't gonna lie.
You do that,
bro.
You called me in the corner, but hey,
did both of them get traded?
Did both
of them get traded? Did Akeem Olajuwon get traded?
Akeem got rings to show, man.
J.J. Watt is bigger than Akeem Olajuwon.
Oh, Rich.
I hate to say it, Pop.
Throw him away.
I hate to say it, man. But Pop.
I'm gonna pray for you tonight, Rich. Real hard, dog.
They had a parade for Hakeem.
Rod.
They had a parade for Hakeem.
Rod. What did we start? We started
the best thing JJ has done for the city of Houston.
We started
is bring money for Hurricane Harvey. That's the best.
We started,
which ain't bad. It's a great thing.
With the tragic death of George Floyd. Okay, that was killed by a white cop. J.J. Watt is Caucasian. Okay, J.J. Watt. Let me just be clear. J.J. Watt has done something in the city of
I'm definitely
Houston
aware. I'm well
that is
aware.
unprecedented, Pop. He raised over $35 million for relief for Hurricane Harvey. One. Two, he's gotten 3 defensive players of the year. He is a Hall of Famer right now. Is he bigger than Earl Campbell? Yes. Is he bigger than Akeem the Dream? As much as it pains me to say that, because I love Akeem Olajuwon. Yes. If you trade J.J. Watt,
Oh my God.
there will be an uproar
Oh my
because
God.
we black people,
That boy been
we
indoors too
ignore,
long, man.
we
Been indoors too long.
man. Look, I'm just being honest. Black people are minorities in the city of Houston. The majority of Houston and the metropolitan areas of Houston is white. JJ Watt is white. Okay. The only thing I would give you if you use the black man in this situation is who is the face of the franchise right now? It is Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
It's Deshaun
Watson.
Watson.
It's
Deshaun
Deshaun
Watson.
Watson. But I guarantee you this: if Deshaun Watson has a season like he had last year, which was a good season, he made the Pro Bowl, and JJ Watt makes 19 sacks, who gonna be on more billboards?
It's gonna be Watt at this point. At this point, he's he's been around longer. He's a bigger staple in the city. He's a bigger staple right now.
I'm just saying, Pop, he ain't going nowhere. Is what I'm telling you. That's what I'm getting at. He ain't going nowhere.
Man, listen, this what I'm saying. Now it's hard to be. This is why it's hard to be a Texans fan right here. The logical decision: let JJ go.
No doubt.
By trade,
no
free
doubt.
agency. At this point, that's the logical GM decision. It's
Deshaun's
team.
Save $17 million next year if we let him go. Keep going.
We would. We would. And I love JJ, man. JJ's dang near kept us relevant. Since the Bengals game, he had that pick 6. It has been his team since that moment.
Right.
So now I think we're at the point where logically it's time to let him go. He's been hurt. He came back. He had his 1 sack during the playoffs. But you can't deny what he's brought to the city of Houston.
Right.
But you got to part ways with him, man. Now, with Bill O'Brien being the head coach of the Houston Texans, we all three can agree on it. But with Bill O'Brien, you never know what he's going to do. And I think he's going to keep him, obviously. That's Bill his boy. That's one of his boys. I think he's going to keep him. That's Bill O'Brien will. So it's hard to go back and forth between what Bill O'Brien would do and should do than what the logical GM football heads like us would say. This is what should go down right now, man.
Rich,
so I don't know.
Rich, I got a question for you.
I said we let him go. Thank you, JJ. It's been real. Aaron had his season. We all had our season.
Rich, I got a question for you.
I'm all ears.
All right. Here we go. No. I'm finna get him now, man.
Okay, come on.
Negotiation time, 2021.
Okay.
You $10 million away from signing Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
You $10 million away from signing J.J. Watt.
Okay.
You got to make a decision.
Right.
One of them got to go.
Right. You thought you had me.
I'm taking my headphones off.
No,
okay?
I won't put them back on. Put them back on. You asked me a question. I want to
look.
There's full here. What you didn't say was what they're going to do is they're going to restructure J.J. Watt's contract this offseason, right? Because they're going to create more room to pay Deshaun Watson that huge contract of $200 million in which you alluded to earlier, okay? I see the JJ down there, Rod. Oh, you cutting it? Oh, man. Oh, man. Look.
Hey, you gonna let that man walk, man. You gonna let that man walk, bro.
Even though, man,
here we go.
I disagree with Rod, and I disagree with God. Okay, here
we go. Here we go.
Fun factoid is you got to pay Deshaun Watson $200 million. He's gonna get at least $40 million a year. JJ Watt doesn't have any more guaranteed money. Okay, his guaranteed money has been paid full to him. Okay, he's been hurt 4 of the last 5 seasons. Okay, keep all of this in mind. And with all of that in mind, okay, intertwine that with this thought. They have to pay Deshaun Watson $200 million. Like you said, Pop, I'm using your numbers. $180 million guaranteed, $40+ million a year. they're going to restructure JJ Watt's contract this year. They're going to give him a signing bonus. It's going to be for like 2 years, 2 maybe 3 years, and he's not going anywhere. I would bet my bottom quarter, okay, he ain't going nowhere, okay. I'm trying to tell you. I'm just, hey, you can spend it however you want. And look, Rod, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Logically, I agree. I'm in full concurrence with you, bro. I love JJ Watt, bro. I love,
and that's where I'm at.
City.
And that's where I'm at. I love him.
Yeah,
But like you said, if we saw Texans, extend JJ, restructure contract, I wouldn't be like, what? I'd be like, be OB being OB. I say this all the time.
yeah.
Bill O'Brien, the GM, kills Bill O'Brien, the head coach, and he doesn't see that because he's in both roles. He can't see that.
Yeah, yeah, and he's just learning. And here's the thing too, that if Bill O'Brien was smart, he would call JJ Watt in and say, "Hey, we've come to this point, man." And I would even think JJ Watt would do something like this. Hey, man, look,
JJ no dummy.
I want to be with my brothers. I didn't disagree with you on that, Pop. I do feel like he would want to play with his brothers. Okay,
and be close to his wife.
Okay, and be close to his wife. Okay, now Pittsburgh is 7 hours away from Chicago. I just want to, put that in there.
Okay,
7 hours, and JJ Watt, he flies private. Okay, private plane. So it's nothing for him in Chicago than it is for him from Pittsburgh to Chicago. So that's a moot point. It's irrelevant. Okay, and so this is what I'm saying, Pop, is that with JJ Watt, okay, he's probably gonna come to Bill O'Brien, or Bill O'Brien come to him and say, "Hey, look, I'm 31 years old. Hey, you 31 years old. You've been hurt 4 of the last 5 seasons. Let me trade you." Or, "Hey, coach, trade me. Somebody will give us a 1. Somebody stupid like Chicago, okay? Give us a 1, not Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh ain't stupid like that. They're not
gonna give no 1. We'll give you a 5. We ain't give you no 1.
Yeah, they're not gonna give up a 1 for JJ, but he will go to Chicago.
Nah.
Okay, and give up, and they'll give up, Chicago, man. They'll give it up, man.
They'll give it up,
and he'll go there because the conversation will be, hey, we at the end of the road here, man. My wife then moved up to Chicago to play sports. That's his wife now. He's always said, man, he's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Wifey, okay. He wants to start a family, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's already shown you that he has other things going on, other streams of revenue. He got a new show out called Ultimate Tag, which was nice, by the way. And he's making moves, man. He got his shoes out, they doing well, okay. Clothing line, they doing well.
Man. I agree
so I'm pretty sure he's thinking retirement. But the fact of the matter is, he ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere.
I think he would be willing to be, though. That's what I do say. One thing I noticed about JJ, I remember earlier in his career, the defensive player of the year years, I remember him, Hard Knocks. I was asking him, JJ, you getting married? You got a girlfriend? And he was like, I'll do all that when I retire. I'm focused on football right now. So hardcore. Like football was life. Just to see 4 or 5 years later, injuries, all this, I see JJ Watt everywhere and anywhere. Him and his girl chilling. He married in his career. Like you said, got his show going, everything. I really, at this point, I think he wants out. Not to say I want out, but I think if he can find a way out that let him go, I don't think he's fighting at all. What he's gonna get? He's not getting a ring in Houston, man. At this point, I think we probably 2-3 years away. We close. We not far. But I don't think JJ will be on the field when we right at where we need to be. Hopefully not Bill O'Brien either.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.
Don't nobody care about no Steelers. Hey, I want to give a shout out.
I don't know where he's going.
Harris, man, Calvin Lee Harris Jr. He says on Facebook, he said, I don't think JJ is leaving though. Calvin, you don't have to think about it, bro. We know he ain't leaving. You know what I'm saying? I'm in agreement. We know he ain't leaving. That's his comment right there. I know y'all.
Yeah. We want him to leave. But, yeah.
It ain't happening. It ain't happening. So and also shout out to Calvin Lee again, man. He says he's the type to take a hometown discount also. Absolutely. Because Pop, what did you mention earlier?
But Calvin,
Under the
he's married now, okay? He's got a wife. They like them big diamonds and them nice fine cars and them nice homes and want 3 or 4 sets of kids. It's a little different, baby, than when you was a single man, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just the whole image. Now, let me ask y'all this. If JJ Watt was a black player, same scenario, everything going on with the city, you think he'd be in the same predicament right now as far as where his career is?
No.
I'll give you one name. It's Davion Clowney. Enough said. Enough said.
I could agree with that, man. Oh, don't get me started. Y'all give me.
Enough said.
Oh man.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, don't say it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Jadeveon Clowney. We seen it. Yep.
I have no counter for that at all. Okay.
I ain't got no counter for that either, man. That's probably where it's at.
I'm gonna say this, man, even though this wasn't on the rundown, man, that I love Deshaun Watson, man. Pop, you remember, man, we watched film on about 5 or 6 quarterbacks before the 2017 draft in which Deshaun Watson was taken. And one of the quarterbacks we watched, Rod, was a guy named Patrick Mahomes, man, out of White House, Texas.
Right.
And when we watched all these quarterbacks,
Texas
Texas boy all day. He was like, hey, Rich, what quarterback would you take if y'all, coming into the top of the draft to get a quarterback, trade up. I was like, well, first of all, we're not trading up. We don't do that here, okay? But if we do, I want Patrick Mahomes, okay? And my old man might have been, taken aback, Patrick Mahomes, like you got Deshaun Watson here, you know what I mean? But Patrick Mahomes is the guy that I wanted, man. He was the guy, and I love the don't misunderstand me. I love Deshaun Watson, but Patrick Mahomes was the guy I wanted, man, because when I saw him play, he had the ugliest footwork I've ever seen in my life. But man, that arm had like a computer on it, man. Wherever he wanted that ball to go, it would go and it would land right in the basket of the receiver of football, man. But we have Deshaun Watson, man, and I think as long as Bill O'Brien is here, man, he is going to hinder Deshaun Watson's growth, man, unless Deshaun Watson just defies the odds. And he's shown that he can do that. So my hope is that
Because I'm supposed to be a sack this year. He saved OB many times.
Oh man, we can't even talk about it, and we need to have another show talking about DeAndre Hopkins, man. That's a whole nother can of worms, but that's another reason why I don't think JJ Watt will be a Pittsburgh Steelers, man. A Pittsburgh Steeler. He sees, first of all, Big Ben is, Paul Bunyan, man, 2020. Okay. So he don't take care of his body, man. You know what I mean? He out there eating freaking hamburgers and hot dogs and you know what I'm saying, fried chicken, fried fish. You know what I mean? And so, but he knows, man, it's something about Deshaun Watson, man. It's a twinkle, man, in his eye, man, that you can't really explain. And I think Deshaun Watson is better than Lamar Jackson, leaps and bounds. Okay, I don't think he's as good as Patrick Mahomes, but I think he
I agree with that.
Okay, he has the potential to do that. I think JJ Watt is looking like, man, this guy, he's a dude, man. You think about all the quarterbacks JJ Watt has endured. Even though he's on the defensive side of the ball, man, and now looking at this young cat, man, who got that fire in his eyes, he ain't going nowhere, man. That's why he let his wife, man, go on up to Chicago, baby, play your game. We're married, you know what I mean? Enjoy yourself. We got money. We can fly from here to there, no problem. And JJ Watt sees this guy, man. He works out with Deshaun Watson, man. I mean, when they both was dealing with those major injuries, man, they was working out together, man. And Deshaun Watson coming off a ACL injury, and JJ Watt coming off of
the injury,
whole body injury. You know what I mean? And they work together, man. He sees, he like, man, look, he want to win one. He's won 3 defensive players of the year, Pop. Okay, he not going to the Steelers because you know why? He loves his brothers, man. He want them to shine. TJ is making a mark in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, man. He's making a mark there. Derek White is a fullback, so them cats, they don't really get you know,
Yeah.
recognition like they used to 10, 15 years ago, man. They've been relegated to de facto offensive linemen. You know what I mean? So when you talk about JJ Watt going to Pittsburgh, man, no, man, he wants a ring. And he knows if he wants to get a ring, in which I vehemently disagree with you, Rod, as far as we got 2 or 3 years. I don't think that at all, man. I think that if Deshaun Watson, now that he has the receivers that he has, um, and even though I did not want DeAndre Hopkins to go anywhere, but now that you have those speed receivers, something that plays right into the hand and style in which Deshaun Watson plays, you could see a ring coming to the city of Houston in the state of Texas, man, within 1 or 2 years, man. And I think I really believe that JJ. So
Don't do that. You don't get me excited, man. You say that, you get me
hey,
excited.
it's real, man. You
It's
look
me with that statement, man. I think most of what it is you talked about those speedy receivers. How often have they been available to show their speed?
right,
So you got Brandon Cook, you got Cobb, Kenny Stills, Will Fuller.
right.
Feel like I'm missing one in there. But if you look at the last 3-4 years, how many of them of those receivers have had back-to-back years they've been consistent on the field?
Only
Almost
one.
none of them. David Johnson, the running back, David Johnson.
Yeah,
So I think you look at us on paper, we're full of potential. I look at our roster from year after year for many years.
right,
On paper, Texas been one of the best rosters a lot of years.
right,
But when
right.
you get to the field, it's always the issue.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like the OB thing comes in. But it's potential definitely. But I still think I would think OB would be gone as head coach. I just don't see us winning the ring with OB, man.
You're not going nowhere. As long as Deshaun Watson is
I
at the
just
helm,
don't,
DLB ain't going nowhere.
man.
He ain't going nowhere because Deshaun is always going to do something amazing.
Spectacular, and I've had that argument over and over, man.
He's not
Just
going nowhere.
keep them relevant. At least keep us a 500 or 9-7 ball club. Deshaun Watson will always give you that. I can
Yeah,
agree with you on that.
yeah, no doubt. Pop, you look like you got fire shut up in your bones over there, man.
No, I'm just listening to you Texan fans go back and forth and stuff. I mean, I'm saying good gracious of life, man. But anyway, man, hey, I really appreciate the conversation because you guys really have a passion for your team and stuff. And Rod, I totally agree with you. Talent wise, the Texans have been in position to win a Super Bowl at least four out of the last 5 years. But I'm like you guys. You got to have a leader, man.
Yeah.
You got to have somebody at the top and stuff, and you can't continue to make bonehead mistakes and stuff because come on, man, 24-0 in Kansas City.
I literally up in my head, I had a Kansas City flashback just now. You just said it, man.
You just don't do that, Rich. You find a way, man. I mean, I'm not. Hey, listen, I'm not throwing the Texans under the bus. I'm certainly not throwing the Texans fans under the bus. But I'm like Rod and stuff. I just don't believe in Bill O'Brien, the coach. I don't believe him as certainly don't believe him as a general manager and stuff. But that's yet to be seen. But go ahead, guys.
Yeah, I just want to say this, man, before we get up out of here, man, that I mark my words here today. Today is May the 31st, 2020. Deshaun Watson will give the Houston Texans a Super Bowl within the next 2 years. I'm telling you right
now. I'm marking it. I'm marking 7:42 p.m. May 31st.
I'm telling you, I've been hearing all of the prognosticators and pundits, all of the people that claim to have expert analysis on football, on quarterbacks, on break it down, pre-snap read, post-snap read, and all this here. The fact of the matter is, man, that dude finds a way to win football games. Okay, when we won 9 straight 2 years ago, it was unprecedented. Okay, it's never happened. We made history. When you have the arsenal that he has, Pop, he gonna do something. And I want to say this too before we get out of here. One of the things that we started the show with too with Lamar Jackson. I'm not a hater of Lamar Jackson. I really like Lamar Jackson, man. I really like that. He came on the scene and did his thing. But I'm telling you right now, and I'm gonna take up for Pittsburgh when I say this, they ain't letting none of that happen. I'm telling you, Big Ben, when Big Ben comes back, I'm telling you right. I'm just telling you, Big Ben is not somebody who takes it. He ain't no easy win. Okay. And you think about Pittsburgh, still almost making the playoffs with plucking the duck.
Plucking a duck.
Plucking Mason Rudolph.
Oh yeah.
Not
Then
big.
they had somebody else.
No, man, I'm telling you right now, Baltimore, all this hype about the Cleveland Browns. I'm telling you, shut it down, man. Pittsburgh, they got the anecdote, man. They got the wheel that most teams don't have, man, and they do it consistently every year for the last 40 years. Okay, they gonna be in your face and look for that. So Lamar Jackson, hey man, look, I commend you, man. Great season that you had. You know what I mean? But you're gonna have to get out there. You're gonna have to learn how to, you know what I'm saying, skin that smoke wagon, man, and fire that pig skin, man, to do your thing. So, hey, Rod, hey man, we appreciate you, man. Me and my pop, man, for you joining us today, man. We've had a great time, man. Normally our shows last about 25, 30 minutes, man, but we had some great dialogue with you, man, and we appreciate you coming on, man. You know,
anytime, fellas.
already, man. Pop, man, as always, man. I thank you, man. I'm glad that our relationship, father and son, is growing in this show, man. And all y'all who are out there listening, look, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Keep on tuning in. We'll
Hey, Rich.
at 5. Go ahead, Pop.
Hey, but before you close, man, let me just say something again. As we started the show, we talked about the protesters. And guys, I commend you. I ask you to keep doing what you're doing and do it in peace and harmony. And if you've been out there, and if you've been in that crowd and you haven't had a mask on, you need to get tested, guys. Okay, yeah. The coronavirus is still out there. Okay, and we got away from the safe distances, and we got away from washing your hands, and you got away from not having masks on. So if you didn't have a mask on, you probably need to get tested. That's it, bitch.
Yeah, Rod, man. If you got something to say, man, you can go on and say it, man. We're gonna close this thing out, man. But if not, man, we gonna keep rolling like tires on the Oldsmobile.
Oh man, nah, just an honor to have the platform, man. Thank you for having me, fellas. Anytime you need me, hit me up. And I mark my date, 5/31/2020. Watch it bringing the ring to the city in 2 years.
You mark
I'll be marching on the streets for that one. I guarantee you that.
You got an iPhone, put that in your notes section. I'm telling you right now. Happy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. For Ping Wilson, man, for Rod Hoff, I'm JR Wilson. This is The Solid Grip. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We thank y'all for relaxing your ear and allowing us to soothe your ear. Hey, look out for us next Sunday. We coming to you live at 5, no time for jive as well, with our expert analysis. We want y'all to go on YouTube, look up The Solid Grip, look at our videos, comment, subscribe, like, share, do all those things, man. But keep on tuning in to us. We gonna give you the real Holyfield. You understand me? So look, this is The Solid Grip. We signing out. Y'all take care.
Peace.